1947, it's really a legacy of partition. There was the Ratcliffe line drawn by Sir Cyril Ratcliffe, which separated Indian part of Bengal from East Pakistan, but it was an irrational line on a map. In 1949, India-Pakistan Border Disputes Tribunal was set up under a Swedish judge. That couldn't settle it. In 1958, there was the Nehru-Firoz Khan Noon Pact between the two prime ministers of India and Pakistan. That also couldn't settle it. In 1974, Indira Gandhi and Sheikh Mujibur Rahman came to some arrangement, but that was not approved by Parliament. In 2011, India-Bangladesh border protocol was signed between Prime Minister Manmohan Singh and Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, but that also did not pass muster in Parliament. The border is 4,096 kilometers long. It abuts 5 states of India: Assam, Tripura, Mizoram, Meghalaya and West Bengal. The reason it has to go to Indian Parliament is any change in the territory of India, in the territorial boundaries of India, or a change in the map of India, therefore, requires a constitutional amendment. And a constitutional amendment requires 2/3 majority. A border settlement requires exchange of territory. Exchange of territory means changing the boundaries of India, and therefore a constitutional amendment. Enclaves are small, tiny territories of one country surrounded by the territory of another country. So there are 111 Indian settlements or villages in Bangladesh, 51 Bangladeshi villages or settlements in India. These are what we call enclaves. The apocryphal story is that the rulers of 2 adjoining states, Cooch Behar and Rangpur in what is now Bangladesh, used to play chess, and they used to wager their villages, and that's how this anomaly has come about. But that's not the only thing about the border. The border has 3 parts. There's an undemarcated part, about 6.75 kilometers in Assam, which is largely riverine area which needs to be delineated and demarcated on a map. Then there are areas in adverse possession. That means encroachments by one country into another country's territory. And thirdly, of course, there are the enclaves. Now the enclaves and areas in adverse possession require transfer of territory. There's no other way to solve this issue. Well, the land boundary agreement would result in a clean and well-defined border, and all nation states need well-defined borders. So that's an advantage. Secondly, if you have a well-defined border, you can monitor it better. And you know that the India-Bangladesh border is problematic because of illegal immigrants coming across, and this has been a problem for the northeastern states, as well as some political parties have tended to make use of it during elections. So all that will be settled. But most importantly, there's a human aspect to it, which is that people living in these enclaves did not have enforceable citizenship rights. Who could they demand basic services from? Roads, electricity, water, health services, because they're surrounded by another country. Now all those problems will be resolved. The fourth thing that will happen is that illegal trade that used to take place across this border will be better monitored, or at least be prevented. Prime Minister Manmohan Singh was very keen on the land boundary agreement. All the maps had been signed, all the agreements reached, but he couldn't get the Assam unit of the BJP and the BJP itself and the West Bengal government on board, because these are the 2 big adjoining states. This time around, the BJP has its own prime minister. He's got the party on board, and he's got the Assam unit of the party on board, and therefore everybody suddenly is agreeable to the land boundary agreement, and that's how it has been settled.